It's good for the whole, it's not always good for the soul. You need to remember that. Is that not the best advice you've ever heard?
What?
I'll say
On! Oh! This is a fucking prison on planet bullshit! In the galaxy of this sucks camel dicks! What's your name? What? What is your name? Tony! Fuck you, Tony! What's your name? Ezekiel! Fuck you, Ezekiel! Fuck you! Fuck you!
Had to switch up on the flow, gotta keep them on their toes. I move quick, I make the most, why they copy what I wrote. Follow everything I post, never trip about a clone. Cause they know what's a sheep to a goat. Yeah. Welcome to the main event. Applying pressure, but I promise they ain't make it then. In their heads, living free, I ain't paying rent. Wake up in the AM, making G's like Mercedes-Benz. Whoa, hey, please don't take offense. It isn't you, I'm just not interested in making friends. My biggest fear is finding out that this came and went. So go ahead, but I'm staying in.
Motherfucker, I hate this motherfucker.
No, Sammy, that's not how we do it. Let me show you how we take care of the creature.
I hate him.
Let me show you how we take care of the creature. Go, Rita!
No, I'm immature. Hold on. Let me finish my point, you jerk.
You don't call your dad a jerk.
Well, you're being a jerk.
The laws of physics do not exist on my charcoal grill.
But what's the weirdest thing you've ever killed and ate?
Siamese twins.
Siamese. What did you say? Siamese twins.
But my agent said I may need to get a lawyer after that comment.
Oh God, I just got what you were saying. That's not what I meant. Oh man, that is just off the wall bad. We just had one of our guests on, Jason Fry, talking about the Celtics are going to win their 19th championship. So what have you got to say about that?
Who this Jason Fry character is, he was talking about doing hard shit. Well, his prediction is bullshit. Okay. All right. I have a feel we're about to be joined by Sir George. He normally comes out of the black hole. Oh, there he is. Sir George. He is back.
Play football. What's up?
Well, I just want to say, are...
Hey, Jerry. Hey, Jerry. I just saw Jerry. Hey, Jerry. You said, well, this ain't your number one. You're number one, Jerry. Number one.
Oh, my God. We're moving on. We've killed the Cowboys. Matter of fact, get out. I'm tired of talking to you. Give me freaking JJ. Bring JJ on the show. Holy crap. Let's hear his opinion about this damn trade and why they made this decision. I think you're trying to cover your own ass right now and just not admit you were wrong.
In the country.
I think you're just trying to cover your ass right now. And don't.
You know what? I got a big ass, so
that's a lot of
cover. A lot of cover. It take a blanket, damn it.
More like a drape.
Did you just pull a drape? Is that so I can open it up when I need to go?
Hey, you're getting too deep into this. Rivalries make sports great, but they got to be on the same level. And I'm sorry, Angel Reese ain't on the level of Caitlin Clark. Like, it's not Magic Bird. If you don't want to commit to it, take your ass and be a PE All-Star.
First off, you need to get your facts effing straight.
How do you like me now? What? You're the coach. Shut up, dude. All you haters, shut the hell up. Just shut the hell up. Whoa. I won 5 Super Bowls, damn it. How dare you call the Cowboys a shit team? Watch the Cowboys. It'll be fun, they said. Bloody fucking hell, it was no fun.
It was like riding a train around one of the Kardashians' asses, and you just disappear into this abyss of ice. Somehow he talked about buttholes that made me hungry for a PBJ sandwich. It's 35-7, and it's only 7 because you just scored. Shut up.
And they're playing with sticks, and they're playing with a little puck all the time.
Expert analysis right there. They play with sticks and pucks.
Trying to grow the game, man. Global game. These people, they don't give a damn.
Well, I don't really know, but it drives me nuts.
Mm.
You're almost going to laugh. I can see it. Almost fixing to lose it. It drives me nuts.
Oh, man.
Oh, you didn't know? Your ass better call somebody!
Yes, yes, yes. We are back. Welcome in. This is the self-proclaimed best in the podcast game. Back at it tonight. We're not gonna do a show next week on Christmas Eve. So you better tune in. Your ass better call somebody. Tell them to get here. There ain't nothing going on Wednesday night anyway. So come on in unless you're at church. You know, we understand that it is Wednesday night. Everyone went to church when I was growing up on Wednesday. But yes, folks, welcome in our first show, a part of the ASAP Sports Network. Happy to join them. We appreciate those fellas for letting us join the network. We're excited to team up. Matter of fact, we got some love from some folks right from the network already. Freddie and Jay, the two big dogs at the network. We appreciate y'all tuning in. And one of my former students, Gabriel, my man. Appreciate that. But folks, if you don't know, we like to start the show. I'm going to let you do your horrible attempt at comedy as always before I get to the rundown. But our number one fan, our day one fan, she likes jokes. So she was like, y'all need to try to be funny. And, you know, I'm not a comedian. The old man thinks he is. And I think he looks funny, but, you know, that's comedy enough for me. But I am Casey, the remix schedule, and the bald, the beautiful Eddie, the original schedule, is going to try to make you laugh. So go ahead, hit the people with this attempt at comedy.
Gee, feels like you've been talking to yourself there for like 10 minutes almost to get this thing off the road.
Well, I had to do it all by myself last week.
That's what I'm saying. You got used to the solo thing. You got to hand it off quickly. You got to get going. So, all right. Yes, I am Eddie, the original schedule, which means I've walked the road way before the young buck here drinking his fire water. But why are spiders considered the smartest insects?
Why are spiders considered the smartest insects? I don't know. Go ahead.
Because they can find everything on the web. And they work as web developers. Bada boom, bada bing. That is hilarious.
Did you say that's hilarious? Matter of fact, here, I'm going to give you some applause.
You're going to what?
Apparently not.
Silent time. I don't know what you were doing there.
I was trying to, there's these little sound, but I was trying to incorporate some new stuff. And there's, let me turn it up. No. I don't know if the people can hear it on the live stream.
Is it called fail?
It's obviously failing because it's not like if we can't hear it. All right. Well, thanks for StreamYard setting me up for failure on that one. Yeah.
How was our fail sound? Which is no sound, which means fail.
Yeah. A lot of fail there. Gabriel, of course, we walked uphill both ways to school in the snow. Yeah. So actually, for me, it was a flat road in the middle of a bunch of wheat fields. So, yeah. Sean, you heard the sound effect then. So it is working. We just can't hear it. That was a gong. I played a gong and an applause for the old man's joke. So, okay, the people can hear the sound effects. We just can't. So,
well, that's no good.
Yeah.
But okay. All right. Well.
All right.
Good
Well,
on
thank
you.
you for updating us, Sean. That it was. I was trying a different sound and it didn't work. So, or we couldn't hear it. All right. Well, folks, let's get to the rundown of the show. Of course, we got Dallas Cowboys in the poor performance against the Vikings, and what's going to happen against the Chargers. We got that going on. We got the NFL roundabout. We'll get a lost in the NFL, as all Texas drivers do in roundabouts. Then we got a little college football recap from last weekend. Had 2 games, and one of them I have an issue with, but and another one I don't. And then the old man, right before we came on air, I wasn't planning on doing this, but we're going to do our picks for the college football bracket. See how different we are there. And you weren't here last week. You had to work, and it almost took you away tonight. So I'm happy you're here. I came out with this, or I didn't come up with the idea, but I came across an idea of a different format for the college football playoff. I'm going to run that by you. I'm going to get your interpretation of that, see if you like it. And then, of course, we got picks with Pops. Then we got a little NBA talk, a little NBA Cup. And then we got sports pet peeves. No, making the most of your moment this week. And then some tidbits, randoms, and whiskey of the week. As always, if you guess on your first guess what's in the canter, now, I don't know if I can actually send alcohol through the mail. I don't think I'm supposed to do that. But
I think they'll
liquor store, I'll get you.
Might arrest you for that.
Say what?
But I think you can order wine in the mail. You know.
Well, I mean, I meant like just send
Texas,
it.
You know, kind of like
can
Texas
I just mail you a bottle?
They're still whining. They're still ordering wine, whining that they're not in the playoffs.
Who's whining? I missed what you were saying.
I was saying I said you could order wine. It was supposed to be a joke, but now it's dead because I got to freaking explain it. But I was saying you could order wine through the mail because the Longhorns are ordering a lot of wine because they're still whining that they're not in the playoffs.
Oh, yeah. Well, that didn't hit because no one's whining from Texas anymore. It's Notre Dame that's whining. Anyways.
Most of them are whining.
All right, let's get back to the doubt. And I know it's Christmas themed, but I'm going to tell you, I don't know how long this Santa hat's going to last, this Mavericks hat, because it is freaking hot. So I may have to disbark and go to another hat here in a minute. But the Dallas Cowboys fall to the Vikings. We do it every time we make a young quarterback look great. That's what we do in Dallas land. Yeah, it was not an exciting performance by our beloved Cowboys. Did see some cool. Aubrey had a cool play on the fake field goal, even though he looked human kicking field goals on Sunday. What was your most impactful moments? What stood out to you with our good old Dallas Cowboys?
Well, unfortunately, there's still a glaring problem in the secondary, and this is going to have to be addressed. I think we have a very good foundation. I think we've got offense is looking good. We got, running back. We got receiver. Got an offensive line. But on defense, I think now that we have Williams, we have shored up the defensive line. I think our linebackers are good. They're fast. And I think they're only going to get better as they play together, but we're going to have to do something about the secondary. There's too much money tied up in Diggs and Bland for playing so bland. So they need to find a playmaker. I mean, they've got these first round draft picks, so we're going to have to. I think that needs to be spent on. We really need a good safety. We haven't had a good safety in a while. I mean, they're okay at times, but we're still getting tore up. And I'm still feel about the defensive coordinator needs to freaking go. He needs to go because they cannot seem to make adjustments. And okay, I'm gonna say it, the fucking zone. Stop playing the shit so much because you're getting ate up. It's just like you said, you made a young quarterback who's been hurt come in and look like a freaking superstar. And granted, he's good. And I'll tell you, I'll give hats off to the quarterback because I don't know if you saw the videos of him, but he went out there and gave high fives and shook the hands to all the police officers that were coming out holding the United States flag. He did that which was pretty cool. And that's in Dallas. It's not like he was in Minnesota. So, but yeah, we need to do something about the secondary right now because it's still defensive coordinator and the secondary has to be addressed in the off season. Get rid of
totally agree. You don't have a making the most of your moment. That could have been your making the most of your moment. Was JJ McCarthy doing that?
I might look for that video if I can find it.
But yeah, you hit it on the nail with the secondary. The secondary is atrocious. Diggs is going to be gone. He is healthy. They're not playing him. There's something going on. That relationship is soured, and it's also in their best interest on the salary cap to let Diggs go. I think there's going to be some interesting decisions in the offseason. We obviously we're going to break that down in nauseam when we get there, but it's not a guarantee Javonte Williams is going to be back. He was on a 1-year, $3 million deal. He's probably going to want a pay bump, after the year he had. Terrence Steele, I think he's going to be a cap casualty. So there's going to be some positions in the upcoming draft that we may not think are needs now, but they might be needs like running back, right tackle, even though I think Nate Thomas can fill in and be a starting right tackle. Ultimately, the secondary, and I said this a few weeks ago, I think every pick in that draft needs to be on the defense. You need another linebacker. You need another edge player because I don't know if you're bringing Sam Williams back, to be honest, and he hasn't been a huge impact. Clowney will be 33. Devontae Fowler is up in that age range as well. And I do like Ezaraku, but he's not dominant. He's good right now. He's solid, but he's not a just dude who's going to get after the pass rush. So I think you need to add a really good, with those first 3 picks in that draft, one player at each level. And if you don't do that, it needs to be corner safety. I do like Revel on the outside, the rookie, the 3rd round pick who was really a 1st round talent but had the knee injury. I think he's a solid move forward piece. Bland is here because of the contract. And so you need another corner, you need 2 safeties, you need another reliable linebacker, and you need an edge rusher. So a lot to look there. But, the Vikings, they put it on the Cowboys going into this Sunday. They got the Chargers, who did what the Cowboys did consecutively. They beat the Eagles and they beat the Chiefs their last 2 games, being it hasn't been super impressive. I will say that. The Chargers beat the Chiefs 16-13, and then the Eagles, they beat them 22-19. So the Chargers aren't necessarily lighting it up, but what do you see coming out of the Herbert-led, the Jim Harbaugh-led Chargers? You think they got something going after these last 3 wins? And the win before those 2 was the Raiders. So are they building something to smack the Cowboys, or is it just their opponents have been in a downfall and now they get the Cowboys?
Well, the Chargers have a pretty lethal defense. I mean, there's some, even though Mac is kind of old, he is still playing at a very high level. So that defense for the Chargers you can't sleep on them. Obviously, they're not allowing teams to score a whole lot. Now a big part of this Chiefs is obviously Mahomes going down, and the Chiefs are pretty much, their season's pretty much over now, kind of like the Cowboys season. But the Chargers, I think they still need to improve a little bit on offense if they're going to go deep into the playoffs, and especially against their division opponent of the Broncos, because the Broncos are scoring a lot of points. So we're going to have to see how that turns out. But I think the Chargers, they just need to get a little bit better on offense, which, of course, they got the Cowboys' crappy secondary this week, which may make we may see 30 points by the Chargers, because they've got good receivers and they've got a really gutsy quarterback. And I think he's been playing with one hand for the last 2 weeks after that surgery he had on his non-throwing hand, which is pretty impressive by him. Because I realize it's a non-throwing hand, but still he's had to try and protect that. So yeah, I think it's going to be an interesting game, but I think the Chargers are probably going to score a lot of points because they're going to go down the field with it. And the defense is, like I said, you can't sleep on the Chargers defense. They are holding teams to very few points.
Yeah. I mean, we obviously don't want to give away our picks just yet. Got a while before we get to picks with Pops, but it's going to be a challenge for the Cowboys. Without a doubt, Herbert is a more than capable quarterback. He's got weapons on that at the receiver and tight ends, and so it will be interesting, especially the defense. I mean, the Vikings defense made Dak run for his life for a large part of that game, and that's happened in the last couple games. We think of the offensive line as a strength for the Cowboys, but it really hasn't been. At times, it's been a liability, but teams have, like the Vikings did, started blitzing a lot. And normally Dak is really good against the blitz. He normally has high completion percentage, a lot of touchdowns against the blitz. But these last few games, it just hasn't been the case. And no attitude, but a no-show from Pickens. After the terrible game a couple weeks ago. So he followed it up with, I was expecting a much better performance there from Pickens with
Dak's got to throw it to him. Dak didn't throw it to him very much. He was going down the field to feed on, to me, 80% of his throws. So Pickens didn't get many chances in the game.
Yeah. And we're not gonna have a show next week, so just kind of a mini preview. On Christmas Day, the Cowboys are playing your favorite name team, the Commanders. Have you been watching the Hard Knocks NFC East?
No.
You should watch that. It's pretty good. Pretty cool in season. And when it's your teams, it's pretty cool insight. I think this week's episode, just launched last night or today or something like that. But it's pretty cool to kind of get the inner workings and you see these teams that are struggling, like Dan Quinn's Commanders. And obviously Jaden Daniels going down for the year. They're shutting him down. I expect the Cowboys to beat the Commanders on Christmas Day, which I'm not sure how I'm feeling about Christmas Day football. Like to me, it's always been kind of the basketball day, and I'm gonna watch because it's the Cowboys. But if it wasn't the Cowboys, I probably wouldn't be watching. I'd probably be watching basketball. I feel like leave Christmas alone, football. Leave Christmas alone. All right, our man Aubrey though looked human. That didn't help last game either.
Yep. So. He did have a nice run on the fake. I thought that was pretty cool. I really thought that was going to be the start of something, but I don't know. It's like I said, the And it's just weird for me with the Cowboys when they're up against it. We always expect them to rise to the occasion, which they've done a little bit more this year than they have in the past. But they had a chance to hold on to playoff hope and just didn't seize the opportunity.
Yeah, I mean, they didn't seize the opportunity the last couple of weeks, right? So get run by the Lions and end up getting run by obviously the Vikings. So, but yeah, with that thought, let's go ahead and take our first break. When we come back, we're going to get lost in the NFL roundabout. And someone damn near my dad's age decided to play quarterback this past weekend. We'll talk a little bit about that. So here's a little bit from easyleadership.com.
Parents, help your student find their true path with the Berkman Career Assessment. Imagine if you had discovered your true passion right after high school. How much further along would you be in a fulfilling life? Now picture giving that gift to your student. The Berkman Career Assessment is designed to uncover the career paths that align with your student's unique personality, interests, and needs. Don't let them wander through years of uncertainty. Equip them with clarity and confidence to pursue a future where they thrive. Act now. Invest in their purpose with Berkman today at easyleadership.com or email us for a free career checkup.
easyleadership.com. It's free to talk to us. And man, $150 and such for a chance to help your kid find their purpose in a fulfilling career matched by their personality. Check it out, easyleadership.com.
Yep, and I played the siren for that one just to get the people's attention. So
I heard that. Sound like it's dying siren, but yeah.
You heard
it? Yes, I heard it.
Apparently I'm the only one who can't hear these things. Maybe I should switch to my headphones. But all right, let's get lost in the NFL roundabout. Man, I wish this story would have been, I wish it would have worked out. It damn near did. Old man Phillip Rivers, 1,800 days between starts, comes out 44 years old, rocking that dad bod like no tomorrow. Comes out, almost gets the win. Colts end up losing on a last-second field goal. I'm sure you didn't watch the whole game, but man, what a story! I was hoping it was going to be storybook ending right there. What did you think of old man Rivers coming out of retirement to play for the Colts?
Well, I mean, yeah, he had a little bit of a belly pooching out of there, as much as he was probably trying to hold that in, because he's been out of football. I mean, can you imagine getting that call? You guys want me to what? I mean, that just goes to show you the sad state that the Colts quarterback situation is because of these injuries and things. But
that ain't no joke.
Rivers has always, what's that?
I said that their quarterback situation, you ain't joking how sad it is right now.
But Phillip Rivers has always been a competitor, and you know, the bottom line is these guys who play in the NFL are the top of the athlete ladder, I should say. So even if they're out of it for a while, I think there's certain positions that can come back and play somewhat decent. And you would think that quarterback wouldn't be one of those, but actually quarterback's a pretty protected position. It really comes down to, can you still make accurate throws and read defenses? You know, I don't think you would see someone who plays, say, corner or receiver at that age come back. I think T.O. tried to come back numerous times, and it was obvious it had passed him by. But quarterback, I think, you know, we saw Brady go way into his 40s playing at a very high level. But for someone to be out of it for that many years and be just chilling at home as a grandpa and enjoying life, and get that call, and the fact that he came in there. What gets me is how quickly they do this. Literally, he shows up, on a Tuesday or Wednesday to the very first practice, and he's starting. And, I heard someone saying this too, is, if I'm on the Seahawks, I'm like, I take that as a little disrespect. You're going to go throw this dude out here and play against us? Well, guess what? He almost beat you. So, yeah, the Seahawks are a good team, and they're on their way to the playoffs, and I think they actually can make a deep run. But, man, that was pretty heroic. But the coolest thing was the fact that Phillip Rivers is coaching a high school team, and he's told them, reach for your dreams, don't be scared, go for things. And that they showed that group numerous times when he threw like his first touchdown. So that was really cool. So that was neat to see from them.
Yeah, you're all about the touchy-feely stuff. So, it was cool. You see his team going crazy in there, and I would imagine if I got the call to go to the NBA from my former, which would have never happened because I was never at that level of hooping, but I'm sure my former players would be crazy. I mean, I've seen them cheer on the sideline in a staff game, so you imagine how excited they were to see their coach in the NFL. So that is a cool story. I was just hoping it would end in a win, and obviously he's playing the rest of the year, so I'm hoping they get in and we get a movie out of this at some point, because I think it's an awesome story. I love it. What a lot of people don't love was the major injuries from this past weekend. Mahomes and Micah are both done, going to be done a lot of next season as well. We'll start with Patrick Mahomes. With this injury, we obviously knew they weren't going to make the playoffs after last week. Is this the end of the Chiefs dynasty, or is this an opportunity for them to reinvent themselves? What do you think?
I think it's too early to tell, but I think it is definitely the end of this group to a certain extent. I think Mahomes will be back because he's not that old, and so he'll be back. But they need to retool. We'll see. Kelsey will probably ride off into the Taylor Swift sunset or whatever the hell that you want to call that. And then they're going to have some changes. So, and quite frankly, Andy Reid, he's at a point now. Does he want to keep doing this? He's at the top of the coaches list, right? So, does he stick around? Now, if he doesn't stick around, then yes, it's the end of the dynasty. Because who you're going to put in his place. So, I think they're definitely on the downhill slide.
Yeah, I think it's one of those things where it's the end of this version. If you remember, this was the same year Tom Brady tore his ACL, and obviously and Mahomes is only like 30, so in today's NFL, these guys, you mentioned Tom Brady playing however long, till he was 44, I think. So don't know how long Mahomes is going to play, but it's already been proven that a quarterback can still come back at an extremely high level after tearing your ACL. And Mahomes, he does a lot with his legs, but it's not like he's a Lamar Jackson type guy. He's more of a crafty runner, a shifty guy. So I do think this is an opportunity for the Chiefs to retool. And I know a lot of people are starting to link Jeremiah Love in the draft process from the running back from Notre Dame to the Chiefs pick like they did Genty to the Cowboys last year. I think they're going to go through that evaluation process, and Love isn't going to be there for them, picking where they're going to end up. So I do think I think Breece Hall is still an option for them to go trade for this offseason. And I think their number one pick is going to be used on a wide receiver, because they need a number one guy. And I know I'm kind of reiterating a little bit of what some people have said, but it's just obvious. Xavier Worthy's a nice piece at the wide receiver position. Rashid Rice is, even though I think he should probably not be on the team, he's a great second receiver. So you have your 2 and your 3 guys, but you need an alpha wide receiver for Patrick Mahomes, which he hasn't had since Tyreek Hill. And I'm not trying to relive the Tyreek Hill saga, but I think that is definitely where they need to go. And they need help on the defensive side as well. That when you start paying guys, you paid Mahomes, you paid Kelsey, you paid Chris Jones, it takes a toll on other areas of your team. And a lot of teams are going to end up figuring this out and seeing these things. So, yeah, that's going to be an interesting take there, and see what they do. And if Andy Reid does leave, who comes in and kind of fills that gap, if that gap needs to be filled, because he has been doing it a long time. Does he want to go through a because they're not going to have Mahomes for most of the next season. Even if he comes back at a year, you're talking middle of December. So, or 9 months, you're looking at, October. So it'll be interesting how that plays out. The Micah Parsons thing, non-contact tear, ACL, sad to see. I think he put the Packers in the conversation of a Super Bowl. As the issues that he had here in Dallas, when you never want to see a guy get injured like that. But my question to you is, does this make Jerry look right or smarter in trading Micah Parsons?
No, it has nothing to do with that. You don't know. You don't know if he wouldn't have gotten hurt or whatever. I mean, it does not. The only thing that would have made Jerry look right is that Cowboys were killing it, which they're not. I mean, yes, they got Williams, they shored up their defensive line, but you still have a suck-ass defensive coordinator and a suck-ass secondary.
And Micah wouldn't have changed that.
No, he wouldn't, but there's still nothing that says Jerry did a great thing.
But
he did not.
He saved a shit ton of money by making this trade.
Well, you know what? Let's put the Jerry jury.
I mean, we can put it on hold.
Out. It's still out because we got to see what they do this offseason with the shit that they picked up with these drafts. If they do well and they shore this thing up and go get a damn good defensive coordinator instead of this, can't even say his damn name, Engelbert Humperdinck or some shit.
But it's not that hard.
That even, there's certain names that you hear that just don't even sound like exciting. Eberflus. It sounds like something you catch during the wintertime. I got the Eberflus flu or some shit. So no, I just it has nothing.
The defense
to do
caught
with
the Eberflus flu. I'll tell you that all damn season. I think I'm fine with you putting the jury on hold or the sentencing of Jerry Jones' decision. I just wanted to ask the question because he said just because you pay a guy doesn't mean you're going to have him, which he was alluding to injury. They pay Micah Parsons. He gets injured in a non-contact, which kind of tells you his knee was wearing down. I think it's an interesting question, an interesting thing that time will tell who gets the better, but sucks for the Packers because I think I know I did. I don't know about you, but I thought they were a viable Super Bowl contender in the NFC. I think this just makes them back where they've been, honestly. Maybe even worse because they're worse up the middle without Kenny Clark. So what do you think of the Packers situation?
Well, it puts it back on Jordan Love, on their quarterback. And unfortunately, he has proven that he is one of those guys who can get you close, a.k.a. your man crush, Josh Allen. he's one of those quarterbacks who can get you close and not finish the job. So the jury's still out on the Packers, because to me it's more on Jordan Love than it would have been on Micah anyway, because it's like you said, they're back where they started without Micah, except they're missing a big piece of their interior line on defense. But I think it goes back to Jordan Love. He's got to be consistent, and he's got to be the one that carries them to the promised land in the playoffs.
That's been the thing with Jordan Love, right? His inconsistency. There's times he looks like he's a top 3 quarterback in the league, and there's times where he looks like he's, looking like Shedeur Sanders out there sometimes. So,
that was cold. That was cold.
We're going to get to Shedeur in the cold here in a little bit. But you mentioned my man crush, the Buffalo Bills, down 21 to the Patriots, everyone is falling in love with the Patriots. In Foxborough, comes back and beats the Patriots. What do you got to say? What you got to say? What negative do you got to say? You can't say they were down 21 because it happened to the Cowboys, and you sat there and praised the Cowboys.
The Cowboys did that. Cowboys been down 21 and come back. When you're down 35, 36, then call me. Then it's something.
It was something. I'm going to tell you, these last 3 weeks, don't be surprised if the Bills win out if Josh Allen doesn't win the MVP again.
It doesn't matter. He can have all those trophies he wants, because there's one trophy that he ain't going to get.
That he's winning. The Bills are winning it this year. I've already told you that was my pick at the beginning of the season.
Okay, so here's the thing. Who are the Bills playing this week? Shedeur and the Browns.
Oh yeah, I mean that's a win. They don't even got to show up.
So, and then they got the Eagles at home in Buffalo. That's a win. So they have a very easy, and then they have the freaking Jets.
I'm telling you, he's gonna win the MVP.
Why don't they just? Oh God, you
need to start looking. Hey, you need to start coming to terms with this. Okay, you start looking in the AFC. Mahomes, which was everybody's nemesis, he obviously ain't there. Lamar Jackson and the Ravens ain't going to be there because the Steelers are going to win the division like I said they would. And so it's falling the Bills' way. Okay? Now, I know exactly what you'll say. You'll be like, he didn't beat Mahomes to win a Super Bowl.
I wasn't going to say that.
You would say that if they won the Super Bowl. I know you.
I was going to say there's a few other teams that he's going to have to deal with. One of them is my Chargers. The other one is the Broncos.
The Broncos are the one team that I would say I'd be worried about if I was the Bills, to be honest. So, hey, it was just a really good game to see good old Josh Allen in Foxborough beat everybody's darling Super Bowl pick. Everyone's like, Drake May's going to be the
sound
MVP,
effect of you kissing his butt when you're talking about Josh Allen.
You know what? I do it just to annoy you now because you made me into a Josh defender after
you have a man crush on him.
You spent 16 weeks last year saying he wasn't a top 5 quarterback, which is one of the most asinine things you've ever done in your life.
I said he wasn't going to win the big one. Did he win the big one?
Oh, my God. You have such revisionist memory issues. You said he wasn't a top 5. Matter of fact, there's a scene where I'm going, hey, he finally admits it. And then you're like, he's not going to be the MVP. Lamar is going to be the MVP. And you're wrong on that. And you're wrong on this one as well. It's your MO. It's your MO. Well, let's talk a little. Are you done now? Oh, my God.
Yeah. Are you done?
Yeah.
I didn't hear that. I don't know what you're playing.
It was
now.
A man screaming. But no, let's go here local. The Texans take care of the Cardinals. As a matter of fact, they crushed the Cardinals. Texans looking like they're figuring it out. We already know their defense is a championship level defense. And and the offense seems to be figuring things out. Their third running back, Jordan, came through, did big things for him. So, hopefully the Texans, can do some damage and keep it rolling. So I've been impressed with what the Texans have done the last 4 or 5 weeks. I'm sure your wife has been extremely happy with the Houston Texans.
Yes, absolutely.
All right.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing about the Texans is that is a team right now, and I hope they. I was calling for D'Amico Ryan being on the hot seat. Well, he has turned this team around, and the more I watch them, the more dangerous his defense looks. So when we talk about a team that could possibly knock the Bills on their ass, the Texans defense could definitely be one to do that. Do I think enough
that is
to win a Super Bowl? No, not yet.
I'd say you make a good case for that. I'm still taking Josh Allen and that offense to score enough points to win the game. For those who haven't seen our show before, the old man likes to act like a child a lot of the time. So I apologize.
That's your voice from when you were a child.
Nowhere near my voice as a child.
I really like that. Daddy, don't fight the car.
Oh my God.
And don't fight the car. You kill me.
You're getting booed right now. All right. Speaking of getting booed, Shedeur Sanders and the Browns. I think they get booed quite a bit. I was happy he was getting the opportunity to start the rest of the season, but man, he could have literally kneeled every play and had a better quarterback rating than he ended up the game with. I don't know what to make of him. Most people who watch our show know I wasn't really a believer. I never thought he was a first round pick, but
how about we all just admit that these other people who said, "Oh, he's just being hated on because of his name and other things I'm not going to mention." How about the fact that everybody was pretty much right that he is not ready to be an NFL quarterback? Now, I hope he gets it, and I hope he spends the time learning and he gets better, but he's just not ready. He's not there because college is so much different than the NFL in the fact that now every single player is the best player. It's not just a few here and there. And, Travis Hunt had a lot to do with Shedeur's success when he was in Colorado. He ain't
what success
on this team.
The dude couldn't win in college. I think you had one game above 500 at Colorado.
He retired his jersey.
Yeah, we know why that happened. I don't want to crush the guy by any means, but Shedeur, man, I think he needs to be in the right system. And I think the best thing, which it would be a media firestorm, but the best thing for him is if the Browns cut him in the offseason. Because where I think
you're not going to do this.
I think there's two places he could go and be successful. One, Kansas City is going to need a quarterback to fill in for Mahomes while he's injured next year. Wow. I like Andy Reid.
Shedeur Sanders to the Chiefs.
Yeah, I like that. And I also like Matthew Stafford's getting up there in age for the Rams. Sean McVay does wonders with quarterbacks. I think Shedeur Sanders in the Los Angeles Rams uniform would be a potential success as well. He needs to get around a quarterback guru. He really does. And because I think he has most of the tools to be successful. It's not going to happen in Cleveland.
That was the joke of why Toledo doesn't have a professional football team. Because if they did, then Cleveland would want one.
Well, that's funnier than your joke at the start of the show. Oh man!
But the thing about it is, just focusing on Cleveland. Damn, man, when are you ever going to figure out this quarterback thing?
Listen, here's my goal, and here's my goal for Cleveland. Guys, I'm going to start a GoFundMe, and it's going to be the GoFundMe so I can buy the Cleveland Browns. So I can take the team in a different direction. So I'm going to need a few billion to make this happen. That way we can try to get Cleveland out of the GoFundMe. Say what?
I'm sure you'll get that in a GoFundMe.
Yeah, well, we got to try something. But the other landing spot I think could be for him is actually Miami, because they just benched Tua, by the way. So for Quinn Ewers.
They're going to have a new coach at the end of this year.
We'll see. We'll see. I mean, Mike McDaniel does good with quarterbacks too. He turned Tua into something viable after the disaster under Flores before him. So maybe Mike Daniel becomes the offensive coordinator somewhere, and that might be a landing spot. But I really think Shador needs to be with a quarterback guru and not Stefanski, whatever his name up there in Cleveland is. So, all right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go ahead and take our second commercial break here. When we come back, we're going to get into some college football. There was 2 games last weekend. One I have an issue with, one I don't. We'll see if the old man agrees with me. Let's hear a little bit more from EasyLeadership.com.
Have you heard of the DISC communication tool? Yes, most people in business have. But there is a new tool out there that is tailored for leadership teams. It is called the DISC Work of Leaders and focuses on 3 main areas: vision, alignment, and execution. This amazing assessment is not just a game changer. It is a business strategy necessity if you want to create sustainability. Let's be honest, a lot of executives spend many hours in HR dealing with people issues, and that happens because of reactive leadership. If you are sitting in HR trying to figure out what happened after the fact, then you are not able to concentrate on running your department or business, and it steals your time. Email us or call. It's free to talk about it and learn how to become proactive in your leadership. Big or small, we have a plan to build on your strengths and an action plan for your challenges. Join Eddie Schedule, our CEO and founder, for a quick video on what a report does for you. Head over to our website and scroll down to see this amazing video of the DISC Work of Leaders tool. Thank you for watching, and we look forward to hearing from you.
EasyLeadership.com. Give us a call. It's free to talk. Don't waste money on things that do not work, or fancy books or things like that. Use real people data, as Sharon just said. EasyLeadership.com.
My beautiful wife wishes us all a happy Wednesday. So, yes, and I know every minute it gets closer to noon on Friday, she gets happier and happier because it's Christmas break for her. So, I agree. My sweet, loving wife, happy Wednesday. And she cooked some really good chili tonight with some cornbread. It was pretty good. Pretty good. She doesn't get the reference, though. You're going to eat your cornbread. She doesn't get it. She hasn't seen that movie, unfortunately. All good. All good. All right. Let's go and talk some college football right here. 2 games last week, and we're going to start. How about Navy beating Army again? Go Navy, beat Army. Thank you. Best game in college football every year. I love it. I mean, it's not necessarily pretty football to watch with the triple wishbone option stuff going off. But it's always satisfying when we see our Navy beat the Army. But we're on the same team when it's over. Did you get a chance to catch the game?
Oh, of course I did. Yes, we did. Anchors away, my boys. Anchors away. Yes, it was a good game.
Drink to the phone.
Very, very. Yes, it was very, very competitive. But but you love the pageantry of the salute to our troops and just those folks that are out there, as they say, each and every person on the field has raised their right hand and would give their life for our country. So it's pretty amazing to watch the game and watch all the pageantry that goes with it. So yeah, whether you're connected to the military or not, it definitely gives you that pride in the good old USA watching that game. But yeah, so but to the game, yeah, Black Knights, go home. You lost again. You can go back to the drawing board. The Navy rules, Army drools.
Yep, and I agree with my wife. There is, I love the jerseys and the helmets, the whole outfit that both teams always come up with for this game. It's kind of become a big deal. The hand airbrushed helmets the Navy are wearing, and I think it was a little tribute to the USS Constitution, which is the oldest ship still serving in the United States Navy. Which, if I ever get to Boston, I think it's stationed in Boston, if I'm not mistaken. Would love to go check it out. But yeah, it's always the pageantry, the cadets, the midshipmen, the rivalry going back over a century. It's just a lot of fun. And this is not the game I have an issue with, obviously. The game I have an issue with was the bowl game that was on that night. And it's not necessarily the bowl game itself. It's just having another game that day. Like, this is supposed to be an off week for college football, and it's supposed to be focused on the Army, Navy. Like, keep it that way. Don't be greedy, and don't be there is doing too much sometimes. And it's a real special thing that Army and Navy play on this day where there's no other games. And so leave that alone, college football. So whoever decided to schedule that bowl game that evening, I think it was was it the Veterans Bowl or something? It may have been something of that nature. But either way, I just wasn't too excited that there was another game that night. So, yeah.
Yeah, it'll never live up to the pageantry of the Army Navy game.
No.
Yeah.
So that's the one I had an issue with. But speaking of college football, let's go ahead. You want to make our picks in this? I'll do the picks, and then I'll do what I think should be done for the college football playoff here. And I apologize for the blurriness of this. It was hard to get an image that would actually download because a lot of people are trademarked. So CBS Sports, appreciate you letting me have the blurry one here. This is the current bracket. I guess we're going to go all the way to the champ. Is that how far you want to go, or you just want to do this first round?
Let's do the first round.
All right, first round. All right. Well, then I'll start off. JMU, Oregon. I think this is a pretty obvious win for Oregon. They were a top 3, top 5 team all year. I think their only loss was to Ohio State. So, yeah, I think that's a pretty obvious win. Do you agree with that one?
Yes. Yes, that's no-brainer.
No-brainer. Let's go to the next no-brainer, which would be Ole Miss, Tulane. I know Tulane's been making some noise down on their level, but I think it's pretty obvious. I think that's an Ole Miss victory. I hope it's an upset. I hope we see an upset. But
hold your horses.
You don't think that's a given?
I do not think it's a given. I've watched Tulane a couple times this year. Tulane has a defense that is very.
Uh-oh.
Just lose my connection or my
yeah,
back?
you froze there right before you started talking about Tulane's defense.
Don't forget, Ole Miss doesn't have their head coach anymore.
They got a new head coach. They're good to go.
Yeah, we'll see about that. I'm calling for the upset of the year to me.
Wow.
In this game, that Tulane is going to pull this out, and we're going to see them move to the next round where they will get their asses whooped by Georgia. But I think Tulane pulls off the upset.
You know what?
I'm not. But
you know what? I love the French Quarter. I love New Orleans. I've taken a tour of that campus. Yeah, it's really not my scene anymore to be on Bourbon Street, but I do love it. There in Vegas are two of my favorite places to go. You know what? I'm going to agree with you. You talked me into it.
Okay. I just
you
think
talk
they're
me
going
into
to
it.
pull
We're going
this thing off.
Tulane on this show. Book it, write it, don't bet it, but let's go Tulane. All right, let's go Friday game. Alabama, Oklahoma. I got to be honest. I'm going Sooners. And I don't like the Sooners, but their defense is a beast. And I don't think Alabama, I think they got held to 7 points in their last game against Georgia. So I'm going Oklahoma to meet Indiana.
I can't disagree. I think Oklahoma has Alabama's number, and I think that Alabama they've already proven that they are not the Nick Saban Alabama, obviously. So, yeah, I have to go with Oklahoma. I think they win this game pretty easily against Alabama, to be honest.
My wife's going Bama. Interesting. I think she's just picking the name on this one. I gotta be real. She hasn't watched a college football game in 2 years that I've known her. So other than the Army Navy game last weekend. So I think she's going on reputation right there. Love it though. Keep commenting as we go through these. And if anyone got an issue with our picks, comment, throw it out there. We ain't scared. We like interacting with the peeps. All right, let's go to, I know where we're both going on this one, but this is the stupidest scheduling game of this first round, by the way. It's a noon game on Saturday. How is Miami, Texas A&M not prime time? Because it is by far the best matchup of the first round. JMU, Oregon, or Tulane, Ole Miss should be the noon game on Saturday. So this is a freaking travesty in scheduling. But I got the Aggies beating Florida. I'm sure you do too. It may be Homer. It doesn't matter. I think they're the better team. And I know you got to pick them, right? It's in your background. If you pick against Texas A&M, throw away your ring and go away.
Yeah, of course it is. And you called them Florida. That's like calling Ohio State Ohio. So
I didn't say Miami.
No, you said Florida.
Well, that's how bad they're going to get their ass whipped by the Aggies. They're going to wish they were Florida.
I think this is going to be a very competitive game, and I think A&M has they've proven it pretty much all year long that they can hang and then just stay within a touchdown or something and pull it off at the end. I think it's going to require some last fourth quarter heroics by A&M to pull this off. But I think A&M wins it in the end. But I think it's a very close game. I think this is going to be a very competitive game because I think both these teams got some players that can run, and so I'm just saying
that boy
Bain
Jr. for Miami's D line is an absolute game wrecker. Sweetie, I know you just said you had a close personal friend, Alex Earl, went to University of Miami. I've never met this person, so I don't know who Alex Earl is. So it can't be that close and personal. But your husband went to A&M, so yeah. So, there you go. All right.
Well,
all right. So that's our first round. We both have Oregon. We both have Oklahoma. You talked me into Tulane, and we both got A&M. So yeah, we're on the same pages here, and we won't be back next week for the next round game. So we'll just I'm picking A&M versus Ohio State. I'm picking Georgia to beat whoever they face. I'm picking Indiana to beat Oklahoma and Texas Tech to upset Oregon, even though they're higher ranked. So, kind of going there. So.
All right.
All right. I want you to take a look at this. I think this is the way it should go in the college football playoff system. I think they need to go to a 24-team college football playoff and do away with the championship games. What do you think about that?
I agree. The championship games have now become more of a liability than they were when it was just a few teams that are getting in. I don't know about 24 teams. I think maybe 16 teams will be the max. But yeah, I think they're going to have to expand. I think they realized that this year with the whiners like the Longhorns and the Notre Dames of the world. And Notre Dame. Here's I'll wait till we get to pet peeves. You said we had some sport pet peeves, right?
We do have some pet peeves tonight. So the reason I like this one, because if you do away at the championship game, you have another round. And the previous bracket we just saw has 4 rounds. So this is 5 rounds. So you obviously have a significant number getting a bye, which rewards teams for doing well throughout the season. And you have that list of teams. It's not a big issue with your lower teams getting in, like your JMUs or your North Texas, which JMU is not on this list, by the way. But I like it because I think it obviously opens it up. More teams get in. I don't like anything bigger than this, and I don't dislike 16 either, as you mentioned. But I like the 24 number because you still have the number of bowl games that can be attached to these. They can still make their money, and you do away with the championship games, which the conferences may not like, but they can figure out their own formula for a conference champion. Big 12 didn't have a championship for a long time, so which hurt them in the old BCS rankings back in the day with Texas. But I like this one. I like this one. So,
all right, yeah, I think 16 is where you cut it off at, but that's me.
Fair enough. All right. Let's go ahead and move on. Let's just move on to picks with Pops. We're going to switch gears to go to the NFL. And so for those that haven't seen the show before, we always pick the NFC East. We always pick the Texans and wild card games for a total of 7. Now, we don't talk about the wild card games that could be the same, could be different. Last week, I went 4-2. I'm sorry, 5-2. That would equal 7. 5-2, and the old man went 4-3. So I have extended my lead to 63-35 over 58-41. Not much time for you to catch back up there, Pops. But all right. This week we got Eagles at the fabled Washington Commanders, your favorite named mascot in the NFL. Does Marcus Mariota and the Commanders have enough fight in the tank to take down the Eagles, who dismantled the Raiders last weekend?
Let me think about that. Yes, they do. The Washington Redskins, I mean, whatever that other
You're taking Washington?
that they call them. I'm taking Washington
wow.
to beat the Eagles.
Okay.
So, yep. I
all right. Well, I'm taking the Eagles.
The Eagles are just
because I'm smart.
Just in disarray.
All right. You know what? I'm going to do something. We normally do all the NFC East games. I'm going to save Chargers Dallas for the very last game we pick. Okay. All right. We got Vikings in New York. After last week, I am definitely taking the Vikings. Jackson Dart doesn't have a lot to work with on his offense. By the way, he's been evaluated for like 4 or 5 concussions this year. That's not good for a young quarterback.
That's why there's a lot of talk about the Indiana quarterback. His name escapes me right now.
Daniel Jones?
No. The
Phillip
Indiana.
Rivers?
No. The guy who just won the Heisman.
Oh, Mendoza.
That's it. That's why there's a lot of talk, because the Giants are really close to having that first pick. Do you stick with Jason Dart, who can't seem to keep from diving forward?
Jackson Dart. Yes, you stick with Jackson Dart. But who are you picking?
Oh, in this game, I'm picking the Vikings.
Okay.
I don't have my hat, but
yeah. Those that have watched the show from the beginning know the Viking helmet saga that we had last season. All right, we got Raiders at the Texans. I think that's going to be a pretty obvious pick. I'm taking the Texans.
Yeah. Oh, am I?
Yeah. All right. Like I said, I'm going to do Chargers, Dallas last. So let's go through these wild card games. My first wild card games is the Jaguars at Denver, and I am taking Denver at home.
Okay.
All right. What's your first game?
It will be the Buccaneers heading to the Panthers. And I know the Bucs let me down last week, but I think they'll get this thing right. So the Bucs are going to win this game.
Ladies and gentlemen, I just want to point out this. He wants to say all this stuff about my love affair with Josh Allen. Last year was his love affair with Sam Darnold. And this year it's been Baker Mayfield and the Bucs.
I still like Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold's still doing pretty damn good.
He is, but I'm just saying. You jump girlfriends, I stick with the same. So, anyways. My next one, speaking of Sam Darnold.
He admitted it. Josh Allen, he wants as his girlfriend. He just admitted that. I'm sorry, Linda, but he just admitted that Josh Allen is his girlfriend. So there you go.
Yeah. Yep, that's what I did. Speaking of Sam Darnold, my next wild card game is Rams at the Seahawks. Sam Darnold does not get the job done like he didn't in Minnesota. I'm going with the Los Angeles Rams. What is your next game, good sir?
Well, I'm taking the Chiefs at the Titans. And I think the Chiefs they're obviously not going to have the quarterback. I think the Titans get another win this year. So I'm going to say the Tennessee Titans handle the Chiefs at home.
Backup? Does anyone know?
I'm not sure, to be honest with you. I guess I could check that and let you know.
Yeah.
Okay, too much silence.
Gardner Minshew.
Oh,
the mustache.
You know what? He's actually played pretty good as a backup, but I still think the Titans win this game.
You're still going Titans. All right. My last game, I mean, if he's going to be my girlfriend, then I'm going to pick him against the Browns, obviously. Bills going to Cleveland. This is an obvious win for the Bills.
That's just so lame of a pick.
You think I'm gonna jeopardize my lead in the standings? You crazy. You crazy.
Oh, goodness gracious.
Oh, man.
I'm going with somewhat of an upset in my next pick because I take a little risk. I think the Patriots are going to be playing the Ravens at home in Baltimore. I'm picking the Ravens to beat the Patriots at home in Baltimore because I think the Ravens are finally getting their ship righted.
All right. I like the daringness on that. All right, our last game, Chargers at Dallas. Dallas at home has been a different beast, but it's been a struggle lately these last few weeks. 1% chance for Dallas to make the playoffs. I think last week took the wind out of the sails for our beloved Cowboys. I'm taking the Los Angeles Superchargers.
And the reason this is so difficult for you folks who know me is that the Chargers are my AFC team. Living in San Diego for 15 years, they were there, and they went to a Super Bowl. They didn't win; they got their asses handed to them. But yeah. But so I'm really torn here because the Cowboys are the other team that is mine. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. So I'm going with the Cowboys. I have to go with the Cowboys. I think they're at home. They are a different team. I think they still believe they have a chance to get in the playoffs, and that is if the Commanders, stupid name, win both games against the Eagles, then the Cowboys have a chance to get in and win the division. So the Chargers, I think they've pretty much sewed up their dance card. I think they will make the playoffs, but that's going to be an interesting game because the Chargers once again have a very good defense.
Yep.
Whereas the Cowboys coming in have that lethal offense. So let's see how this works. But yeah, I'm going Cowboys.
All right. Well, let's hear our last commercial. This is going to be our last commercial break before we zoom it on into the end of the show. So one more word from easyleadership.com. This could have been your commercial if you're watching, by the way.
Attention leaders planning your 2025 leadership retreat. Are you about to throw $30,000 to $40,000 out the door on flashy speakers and trendy activities that lose impact in 2 months? Don't waste your budget on short-lived inspiration. Partner with Easy Leadership and harness the disc work of leaders to gain real data insights into your company's real-world issues. We'll uncover your team's strengths and tackle critical challenges in vision, alignment, and execution, creating a strategic action plan that drives lasting, measurable results. Act now. Contact Easy Leadership at easyleadership.com to invest in leadership that transforms your organization for the long haul.
Yes, easyleadership.com. How many leadership retreats have we been to that lose their luster after a couple of months or no one even remembers what was talked about? Happens all the time. So call us. Let's use some real data. Make it lasting. easyleadership.com.
All right, let's get to the NBA. All right, the NBA Cup just wrapped up. Do you even know who the champ is?
It happens to be a team called the Knicks.
The New York Knicks, NBA Cup champions. Woo! Yay.
Yeah. Can I just say it? Who gives a shit?
Yeah, let's just boo the NBA Cup. We're booing the NBA Cup. I'm going to boo it again with that sound effect. The people can hear it. We can't. All right. The NBA Cup, man, it's dumb. And, the Knicks are doing one thing right, I will say. They decided not to put up a banner in Madison Square Garden. Thank God. The Lakers and Bucks put up banners for winning the NBA Cup, which is stupid. The worst out of those is the Lakers, who famously Kobe said, we just put championship banners up. The NBA Cup's not a championship banner. It's a stupid-ass in-season tournament. And they changed the courts, and the courts, I don't like the courts. It's just a waste. I mean, they beat your Spurs, by the way, in the final. But it's just, to me, I didn't watch one game of the NBA Cup, and I'm a basketball guy. Like, the games are on, and the only way you know it's an NBA Cup game is because they changed the courts. I don't know. And one, I mean, NBA is somewhat unwatchable regardless, but then they trying to garner interest this time of the year. Look, it doesn't matter whether you have this NBA Cup baloney or just a regular normal season. No one's watching basketball till Christmas and later. It's just the way it is. And the NBA's just got to learn how to deal with it. So, and the only thing more irrelevant than the NBA Cup is the WNBA. So, that's what I think.
Hey, don't pick on the girl.
I just
Picking on the girl.
Just happened.
Indiana Fever, America's team.
Yeah. By the way, you weren't here last week, and all the facts of this particular situation weren't out when I was on live. Did you see the Michigan head coach Sharon Moore story?
Oh yeah, pretty. That is just crazy. To someone making $31 million a year, I guess $31, $33 million a year.
I think that was the total of his contract. I don't think that's what he's making a year.
Well, it's pretty damn high.
Yeah, he definitely in the 1% of the country for sure.
And he can't keep from messing around with someone at work. And then not only that, losing his damn mind, breaking into their house and all, allegedly. But the dude got fired and arrested. As they said in Friday, how you get fired on your day off and then get arrested?
Yeah, it's such a crazy, bizarre situation. And you know what the sad part is Adam Scheffner on ESPN tried to make Shamar Moore look like a sympathetic figure when he was describing the situation. I was like, what are you doing, dude? Like, come on, this guy made his own decisions. He made his own bed, literally.
He's a grown-ass man.
Yeah, he's a grown man, and he was cheating on his wife, and he claimed to be like this. We all have our faults in the eyes of our faith, and we're both believers, so we're not all without sin. But the guy was making his own decisions in that round, in that area of adultery, and then not wanting the relationship to end, and there's just craziness with that story. And I didn't want to spend too much time on it. I just wanted to not all the facts, or he hadn't even been arrested when I took the air last week. So he had just been fired for an inappropriate relationship, and then she wanted to break it off, and he's like, nah. And I was all like, man.
Probably we need a new segment on the show. What the fuck were you thinking?
Yeah. I mean, I think I have don't we? Let me hold on. I feel like I got a it's this one, like, and this isn't necessarily funny news though.
It isn't really funny. It's more about what the fuck were you thinking?
Yeah, no, I got you. I made that so long ago, I forgot what it looked like. What about this one? Oh no, that's Bad Bias. Yeah, never mind. All right, but let's go ahead and move on to the next segment, sports pet peeves. So I'm gonna put this on the screen. This is my pet peeve, and I didn't even know it was gonna be a pet peeve, but this shit's ridiculous. This dude has got a whole ass bag of spaghetti at the Bears game. Like, what the fuck is that? Like, what?
I mean, can you really, think of how expensive food is at a freaking stadium?
Nah, don't even try that excuse. Come on, Dad. Come on, man. Don't use that excuse.
Spaghetti in?
Nah, you can't bring a whole bag. No, did you see the label? It was planned out. It was Bears versus Browns labeled.
Yeah. So they obviously are like a season ticket holder. Like, I ain't buying them damn $40 nachos anymore. I'm bringing my own damn spaghetti.
So my pet peeve is if you can't afford the food at the game, don't go to the game. Like, no, sir. Like that is ratchet right there. That is ratchet. That is. Oh my God! I wouldn't expect my cousins who live in a trailer to do that shit.
I take my own candy into the movies, man. So I have no problem.
No, well, that's different. Candy is different into the movie. It's completely. You didn't have a planned fucking bag of spaghetti. It's something off of Impractical Jokers, man.
Spaghetti sounds pretty good at a football game.
No, it doesn't. That is the messiest. That's one of the worst foods you can have at a football game.
Microwave for me. It's in the microwave.
It's so bad.
Like, where the fuck you get that?
Like walking her. And
but you think about it's pretty. Look, listen. I'm gonna say that's pretty ingenious because spaghetti, unlike say chicken tenders or some other shit you would bring, spaghetti will conform to like your body. Like you put it in your shirt or whatever, it's gonna be like an extra muscle or some shit.
Nah, it was like 7 degrees, so he had to have it in there under those layers so it wasn't frozen. Like his body kept it.
At least your food's 72 degrees or 92 degrees.
Listen, man, that is one of the worst things I've ever seen. I
think it's pretty genius, actually.
Listen, man, if you ever show up to a sporting event with a bag of spaghetti, I'm immediately leaving.
I'm gonna do it now. I'm gonna
no, because I know Angie will stab your ass if you try to do it. Angie will stab you if you try to do that BS. Oh my God, she'd be so embarrassed.
Right, my sports pet peeve is Notre Dame. Shut the fuck up about not being in the college football playoffs because you're not in a conference. Get in a conference. If you want to have a better chance, get in a conference. Stop your bitching. You're not in a conference. Every other freaking team, except for a few others, is in a conference. So I'm really tired of listening to their coach bitch about it. Bitch that we were left out. We should have been in. Yeah, well, if you'd won a conference championship or you were in a damn conference, you might have been in. So I'm just tired of hearing the whining that is continuing. It's a travesty that we're not. Nobody gives a shit. You caused that your own self by being an independent. And you've been offered, and don't fucking start that. Well, what conference? You've been offered conferences. They have paid. They would pay you.
Every other sport at Notre Dame plays in the ACC other than football. So they could just be in that.
What the hell's up with that?
It's a money thing. They have an exclusive deal with NBC, and they make so much money on their own. They don't need to join a conference. That's really the justification. But they fully knew that if they didn't get in, or even when they do get in the playoffs, they were never eligible for a first round bye because they weren't in a conference. They could be undefeated and #1 team in the country, and they wouldn't get a bye.
But yeah, so just stop whining about it. Good God, stop whining about it. And your coach is going to leave anyway. He's going to the NFL.
You think so?
What? Yes, I think so.
Interesting. By the way, speaking of coaches, this isn't a pet peeve. I have another pet peeve, but are you a believer in Shoddy?
Yeah.
All right. I'm telling you, watch the Hard Knock series that's on HBO. You'll love Shoddy even more. Just throwing it out there. All right, my next pet peeve, and this will be the last one.
No, I got one more.
It's in high school. What?
I have one more after you.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll try to keep it brief. Things we're running up against it, but yeah, it has to do with high school sports, and it's recruiting in high school sports, and maybe I was just seeing high school football and the same old teams and the championships in Texas, and it's because of they without a doubt they recruit. I mean, these teams have been in trouble. Duncanville's had multiple violations. It's I miss the good old days of whoever the hell you grew up with in your neighborhood or in your town. That's who you went to war with. You grew up with them. It wasn't these people on social media trying to get you to move here or team up with there and things of that nature. And, I know I was part of a school that got accused of it, which our program did not in the basketball program. And if it did, it happened without my knowledge, because I'd be the first one to admit it. But I also know there's schools in this area that do it. That cost us, our our backup point guard, who would have been our starting point guard the following year or in 2 years after that or whatever. I'm not trying to rehash that situation, but man, it's because of this issue and many others that I think high school sports is going to end up being heavily privatized moving forward in the next 20, 30 years. And because the UIL you can't regulate it fully because, if you claim I moved for academic reasons, it can't be denied. When I was in high school, the only way you could keep playing varsity sports that following year was if you went outside the district and you moved down a level. If you remember my senior year, we thought about switching schools, and I was going to go from a 3A to a 1A, and that was the only way I was going to be able to keep playing varsity basketball my senior year. So, it just, I can't stand the state of high school athletics right now. And it's happening because so much is on the line. These head football coaches get paid ungodly amounts of money in high school football. If you look at their salaries, it's ridiculous. And all they do is run a fucking football program. I'm going to run down a rabbit hole that I don't want to necessarily get into, but it has to do with money.
Keep this brief.
Say what?
You said this was going to be brief.
Well, it's only been 2.5 minutes. So, but in that spirit, just go ahead with your last sports pet peeve then.
My last sports pet peeve is the Utah Mammoth. Change it to Mammoth. Have you listened to announcers try to call a Mammoth game? It's not like they are the Colorado Avalanche. You can say, oh, the Avalanche scored. But you say the Mammoth scored. People are looking for a big hairy-ass elephant. They're not thinking it's the team. It's Mammoths with an S. There's more than one. Fix your damn name. Goodness gracious. You're not as bad as the Commanders, but you should be Mammoth.
I think the Mammoth is worse than Commanders.
What?
I think Mammoth is worse than Commanders because Commanders, it's at least in the spirit of the commander-in-chief is in Washington, D.C.
Yeah, I get all that. But, I'm going to have to say Mammoth. Who the hell had a meeting over that and said, no, not Mammoth. Mammoth. Like one mammoth. Like an Ice Age.
Classic.
Manny, the mammoth. That's it.
Yeah.
It just makes no damn sense.
By the way, I did a little segment last week on the best of the bad. I don't know if you caught it. I know you were working, so probably not. So I did my 7 best, and we're in our last segment here. I did my 7 best bad movies that I like for some reason. And I wonder if while I'll tell you my 7, actually 6, because I couldn't remember the one that was early 90s about rollerblading and hockey, and I couldn't necessarily remember it. So, it's like for some reason I always watch these movies, and for some reason I like them. So my 7 were, number 1 was Cocktail. You remember Cocktail?
Yeah.
Yeah, with Tom Cruise and the bartender. No, more recent one was Real Steel with Hugh Jackman and the boxing robots.
I like that movie.
Willow, if you remember Willow.
No.
It was the early 90s, late 80s one. Roadhouse.
With Patrick Swayze Roadhouse, right?
Yes.
Not the new one.
Yeah, and I actually have another Patrick Swayze one. Next of Kin. I don't know if you remember that one. It was he did it with Liam Neeson. They were like these country boys from West Virginia, and he was a cop in Chicago, and they murder their brother and they exact revenge. And the last one was Tango and Cash with Kurt Russell and Sylvester Stallone. So best of my bad movies. Does any movie pop into your head when I say like it was a bad movie, but for some reason you like it?
Raising Arizona.
That's such a comedy cult classic, though. That was on your favorite movie list.
Or Napoleon Dynamite.
Okay, I would take that one. I can't stand Napoleon Dynamite.
What was the one that they were 3 baseball players and they would take on little league kids? It had the guy Rob Schneider in it.
Oh, Benchwarmers?
Yeah, it's it. Benchwarmers. That's a bad movie that I can watch. That one.
Oh man.
And then Spaceballs. Spaceballs is one. But there you go.
Oh, I know what the rollerblading movie was. It was called Airborne. I was thinking it was Air Up There, and that's a basketball movie with Kevin Bacon, which is bad as well. But Airborne was like the California surfer dude moves to like Minnesota and has Seth Green in it as well. With Mitchell Goosen is the main character's name. So, but all right. Yeah, that any other tidbits or randoms?
No, I think that's about it. I mean, we didn't talk much about the NHL or whatever. Stars are still doing pretty good. Just behind the Avalanche right now. Falling behind a little bit.
Yeah, those are definitely the 2 best teams in the West. Rantanen had a phenomenal deke and score a couple nights ago. I think it was number 1 on SportsCenter's top 10. Yeah, they're doing solid, and that's with injuries as well. And once again, no one tried to guess the whiskey of the week, so I don't have to reveal it. Y'all are saving me money, honestly. So that means I don't have to buy a new bottle. So, I mean, you can guess until the end of the show, but which is here in probably about a minute or two. So, like I mentioned at the beginning of the show, we will not be doing a show on Christmas Eve. We're going to enjoy the time with the fam or whoever we're with at that point. I imagine somewhere with family. And we hope y'all enjoy your couple weeks as well. And you know, we're excited.
Merry Christmas.
Say what?
Merry Christmas.
Yes, Merry Christmas. Well, we'll be back before the new year, but yeah.
You should have had that Indian video about the one where they're singing the one you sent me.
Oh. Oh no, we're not showing that. No, we're not doing that. No, I actually saw a funny one where it's a Native American dude on TikTok, and it's him doing one of the traditional dances, but it's in the caption from the Indian guy, the Native American guy says when they play the wrong Indian music for your traditional dance, and it's like music from India. It's pretty funny. I was like, well played, sir. I immediately followed him on TikTok.
Angie just started cracking every time I would go ring ding 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 ding.
Oh man.
But you went up for the store right together with you.
Yeah. But we appreciate y'all watching, listening, interacting with the show. And we're very thankful. We're very thankful for it's in its infancy. It's just starting out. But joining ASAP Sports Network. And you know, we obviously the dissolution of Tired Sports Network. I think one of the founding members is taking that back over, so hopefully he does well with that. But we joined ASAP, so check out their shows here soon. Once I have more information, I know they already have an app. We're going to be asking you to download the app for ASAP Sports, and as well as we're joining their Roku channel. They have their own Roku channel, so excited about that, getting us out to many more people out there. So
many more.
So shout out to Freddie and Jay, the leaders of ASAP, and I'm looking forward to collaborating with the other shows on the network as well. So with that being said, we appreciate you. We love the fandom as always. I just realized we could have had some Christmas themes on here. So yeah, happy. Yeah.
Well, there you go.
Wish I would have realized that beforehand. So we'll just go out on that then. Peace. Love y'all. We're out of here.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. And to all, a good night.
Same old devil down the same old dead-end highway. Riding that storm run through my veins like a shot-down tailspin airplane. I'm scared of nothing and I'm scared to death. I can't breathe and I catch my breath. But I keep chasing that same old devil down the same old dead-end.
My music hits me so hard, makes me say, oh my Lord, thank you for blessing me. What am I to